Hello, and welcome to Uptown Tonight. We are at the end of May. It's May 24th of 2023. It was a beautiful day out there. It was like that sweatshirt weather that you could get away with wearing or without. That's perfect for me. I freaking love that. And this is the Uptown Tonight Podcast, where we do believe a rising tide does raise all ships. And we are here trying to do our best to raise that tide for everyone in here in the FM area by basically showing off the entertainers of the FM area and what and what not. So if the best thing you can do for us right now is like, subscribe, share, do all that fancy stuff below there. You know what to do. And everything will be great. So today we have Mr. Lucas Hranicka is going to be with us and joining us on the couch today.
Hi.
So thank you for doing this, Luke.
You're welcome.
No, we just ran into you basically a week ago. I think it's the first time we've actually met.
Yeah,
Over at the Troll
was.
Lounge. It's the first time I've been in the Troll Lounge, everything else, and this date was open. And I was like, hey, Luke, want to come on the podcast? And he agreed. And here we go. We're going to be doing all that fun stuff. Learn all about Lucas today. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. But first, I got to talk about me because I am boring. And, well, we got Zebras out there. Zebras definitely doesn't look like that anymore. And that couch definitely doesn't look like that anymore either. And we got Cito right there hugging Junior. Junior's holding up our Uptown merch. Our Uptown merch is always for sale when we're on stage. And next time we're going to be in town is at the Windbreak a week from tomorrow. We got Ladies' Night next week with our new bass player, Nick Taylor. Now, how more metal of a name can that get? Nick Taylor. Freaking love it. So that'll be the first time, the debut of Nick Taylor and Cito back on acoustic, and myself on drums, along with Mr. Lord Peter Wilbur on the electric guitar. But, no, we got Zeeb says we have to support our troops. I'm a little biased because my son's in the military. So support your troops. You should be doing that anyways. That's why I always tell people just look for the Yeehaw American flag out front, and you can find the house fairly easy. Along with me being festive, I still haven't taken my Christmas lights down, Luke.
I noticed, but, I'm a festive person myself.
Exactly. I'm the most festive person on the block. That's what I'm saying. And the timer's still hooked up and everything. I mean, it's bad. It's bad.
They go on.
They do. They'll be on when you leave.
I can't wait.
I really got to get out there and get some work done. Just been a blur these past few weeks. It's been really, at least on my side, transitioning into summer mode here. But
right.
Yeah, enough about me. I didn't do anything last weekend. So what'd you do last weekend, Luke? What's going on?
What did I do last weekend?
Yeah.
I can't even remember what I did last week.
You were at the Troll Lounge last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the M&J one night. I saw Dan Brecky.
There you go. Yes.
Yep. And then I actually went to Rick's, and then I saw Back for More for, I think, 6 or 7 songs.
Wow, you got out and got around. See, I need to do that.
That's terrible. That's the important thing. And I got sober almost 4 years ago, and so it was hard to actually kind of be out and and smell alcohol and because I wanted to be doing it like really bad. And
understood.
And then I kind of think that it would take me off almost being out, but now I've actually gotten to really enjoy it, and I enjoy the smell of alcohol when I'm out there, and I actually sometimes will just go walk through a bar when I'm in a place just so I can get the smell of it and see people having a good time.
See, I get that. Did you smoke cigarettes at all ever before?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big smoker too until my son was born. That was 21 years ago. He's 21 years old.
Wow.
And that's when I quit smoking. It took 3 times, but I made it happen. But I still, if someone lights up in the car or whatever else, I just love it still.
I know. Yeah, me too. I
terrible.
like golfing.
Yeah.
Like pretty much everyone I golf with smokes, and so I get plenty of it that way. But and then when I smell it and I'm not golfing, it reminds me of golf. So
yeah, all that weirdness.
Yeah.
But let's get down to your story here, Lucas.
Okay.
I have no idea who you are, where you came from. I know you play guitar.
I play guitar. Yeah, and like bass has kind of been what I've been doing more of lately. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I started in as a bass
player. Play bass, you're never going to starve.
No, I mean, it's kind of like drumming, actually.
Oh,
people always need a drummer. So.
I beg to differ on that one.
Oh, no. You're eating. But yeah, like
Yes, yeah. Lately, it's been really good. But there was a time that I was just scratching, trying to find something. I never did finish my story we were talking about beforehand, but
oh yeah.
we won't worry about that right now. We need to talk
Well, we'll
about
bring it up. Like yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we can talk about it. Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
Yeah, so we were talking about me when I was trying to figure out how to get across the train tracks from metal original stuff to actually getting paid with the cover bands. I didn't know anyone in cover bands, at least anyone else getting paid doing cover band stuff, and I've always had trouble with, getting things going, trying to do it all on our own. We didn't know what we were doing and whatever else, trying to get gigs, and we played at the Nestor. We got kicked out of the Nestor
oh,
while playing.
sweet.
That's how good we were.
wow.
No,
like
the
just
band was doing fine. The front man at that time, it was just a bad choice. Great voice. He had charisma. He had all you needed, but he had a attitude that.
oh, okay.
Yep. And yeah, he got us kicked out of the Nestor.
Wow.
Right in the middle of his set. So
yeah, that's like
I got that
feat.
story.
That's
But then I just got on. I started looking around on Craigslist and whatever else, and then I found Irish Whiskey at the time. I was looking for a drummer to go out to Minot, and I got a hold of them, and I was like, "Oh, country, how hard could this be? I play metal all the time." Oh yeah, humbling experience when you sit behind trying to play country.
right.
Yeah, it's not like metal.
No, lots of breaks.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean,
there's a feel to it that just
yes.
you just can't just hammer through. It's got to be there. And that took a while to get down and into, and I'm still a student of it.
Right.
I'm trying to pull it all together. But yep, so I got into there, and then things happened there, and now I'm with Uptown, and it's all good.
Right.
Been playing a lot, loving it. Bitzers are taking great care of us. Thank you, Gary and Sarah. Shout out to you guys. So
they take care of us all.
They do.
Thank goodness
Great
for
people
them.
on here. And Gary was on the podcast at some point, so you can go back in the archives and look him up.
That had to be some good stories.
Oh, there was, and I know we have a ton more to talk about. So I got to find like a time or maybe just a time of year. Just bring them on, have Papa Bitzer stories. Yeah, I just think it'd be fun to have everyone sit there and ask questions or whatever else.
Yep, learned a lot from that guy.
But there you go. That was my transitioning into the cover band scene and all that. But Lucas, where are you from?
Okay, yeah, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee.
Yep.
Oh, the
It's
dirtiest
actually-
city ever.
I mean, is it? I haven't been there for a couple of years.
Oh,
but
I haven't been there since the 90s, but I just remember driving through there as I worked in the Walthers model train warehouse
okay.
one summer while I was doing drum corps, and I was living in Burlington. So I can't remember how far away that was. Like an hour
I don't
and
know
a half
how.
or something.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure how far that is.
we were doing
either.
drum corps out of Madison. That was like the middle point, and the person I was living with was a manager there. So we got to do model trains, and that's where I realized that people are nuts. When I started stocking little miniature naked people for people to put on the little train sets, I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
What's
What's going on, people?
Yeah, we had a train set when I was a kid in Milwaukee. It was in the basement, yep, and then it had the little people.
I bet they weren't naked, though.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
Oh, at the Walters warehouse, yes. Learn all about model trains, all that fun stuff.
Awesome.
But no, I just remember driving there, and it was just, that was the first place I ever saw that had spiked things that you could buy and stuff. And, it was the 90s, a little more innocent time in Fargo. You couldn't really find that stuff like in stores or anything. They didn't really have the internet either, so.
Right.
I don't know. That's just my takeaway from Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like it when I go back there. I know that my dad doesn't like it so much.
Okay.
He likes Minneapolis. He's glad that he moved up to Minneapolis and Twin Cities area. So that is also where I'm from. Like he had to transfer, go up to the cities when I was a kid, and so then that's where I
really?
graduated from high school.
In the cities?
Yeah, like in Cottage Grove, Minnesota. It's a
Okay.
suburb of St. Paul.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then from there, I was reminded a couple weekends ago that this friend of mine begged me to come up to Moorhead State. Like I chose to come up to Moorhead State University. Yeah, but he was coming. This friend of mine. in high
What year
school
was this? Because I'm about
1997.
97.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was right after Coates.
Yep, it would have been Glenn Ginn.
There we go.
Yep.
I was trying to remember the name.
Yep, Glenn Ginn was the guitar professor there. And I can't remember, some of the other ones that were there. Like for bass, I know it wasn't Bill Law, it was somebody else. And then Steve Langamo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Langamo
like
was there.
he was one of the guys that I learned a lot from. And then we had a jazz guy come in from Grand Forks. I can't actually remember his name
It's okay.
right now. Yeah, but it was
ago.
kind of just like taking guitar just to get through the credits, I guess, kind of. But I mean, it was extremely hard. It wasn't like it was a cakewalk, like
No, they were mean over there.
Yeah,
I know Coates
but-
built that studio up so much. I remember having his book, Chase the Dragon, and it was that thick. I can see that.
right.
And it was just scales and everything. And I wish I still had it. It's out of print. I talked to his daughter every once in a while, see if she could find a copy. They have not. It's passing from a year ago and all that. And I was there that fall at MSUM when he quit and left a big note on his door and everything else. I got to witness all that. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I might have heard about this, but then
That was 94, so
Okay.
it's a few years before, yeah.
yeah, and then
But how'd they talk you into coming up here in the first place? Was it for guitar?
no, it wasn't for guitar. No, I
Yeah.
was a business major, like right away.
Oh,
I didn't.
okay, yeah, it was good for
I
that.
hadn't. Like I just kind of started playing guitar when I was 17, but then I was walking over the St. Croix River, like somewhere around graduation, and thinking, like I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. And I was like with all my friends, and then I was kind of like looking around, and I thought, I want to be a musician. I want to play guitar. And then I took a couple of years, and then didn't really, was kind of afraid to almost like admit that to myself, I think. And then
You should be afraid.
yeah, I know. And then, well, I mean, there was kind of like parents in the 90s. It wasn't like it is now where, like they're sending their kids to, be in a rock school or something like that.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And where they
Get some
want
actual
their
training,
kids to be musicians and everything. And in the 90s, it was kind of a different thing. Like, or at least where I came from, you would go do something different. That was kind of a hobby. It wasn't
Yeah.
seen. No, you didn't know anyone that did it for a career. So how could that be a career?
And most
And,
people would still argue it's a hobby.
Right. I know. Yeah, it's so, but that, yeah, and then I remember turning 40 years old, and then my dad sitting there with me and saying, I can't believe that this is what you chose to do, and this is what you're still doing. It's just kind of, he said he never would have imagined that. And I guess I wouldn't have imagined it for myself either, but
Well, at the time or just overall?
overall, I mean, you
You
don't,
just couldn't imagine yourself still doing this at this time or at this age and all that?
no, I mean, well, I could imagine just overall, I guess, kind of, that you'd actually, still be playing, be doing it full time. I mean, back when you were 18, 36 was old. So, I was thinking I'd probably quit sometime around when I was 40, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it looks like
So-
Brianna's out there watching.
Oh, awesome.
So she says, Luke.
Hey,
Or Lukey. I don't know how.
hey,
you wanna
Bree, good practice today.
Awesome. Great to hear about that, too. Yes.
Yeah.
Getting out there and doing all that. Yeah, so you came up for a business major, and then
Yeah.
did they just turn you to the dark side as you were there, or was
No,
it
I
just-
wanted to do it. It was kind of, yeah, I wanted
Did
to.
you finish with your major, or
I did, yeah, but it became music industry because
Oh,
then like you
gotcha,
could
yes.
mix the business and the music thing together, and it was kind of like a best of both worlds. Didn't have to learn all the scales, the full book. You just had a smaller book of scales that you had to use or had to learn. But
the book?
right, yeah, and so it kind of fit me more, and I was kind of a more of a rock guy, and I guess country Americana. I was like into Bruce Springsteen, I was into Tom Petty, so the rock thing kind of fit me more than the jazz thing. But the weird thing is, the jazz thing stuck with me, and just kind of as I left college, I continued to listen to jazz and got more and more into it. Never really played it until like I met up with Chris Argenziano.
There you go. Yep.
All of a sudden got into Frank Sinatra, a couple of years ago, and then who's the guy, the guitar player, that plays jazz? It's like, okay, well, it's
stretching your wings.
Right.
It's another way of just, exercising the brain, basically.
Right. I mean,
it's
it's
same
hard.
thing.
But Sinatra makes it sound so easy
Well, of
and
course.
and so smooth, but it's just not.
So what? You stayed around the area, obviously. So after college, you graduated from there. What'd you do after that?
After college, I joined the band Baby Grand.
Baby Grand.
Yep, immediately. Actually, while I was still in college, so I was trying to finish all these finals, working and practicing constantly for this band, that I was joining. That and I just say it like that because we had no idea if it was going to work or anything, but
Of course.
we just kind of believed in it, and we had Gary was there. We had a lot of support from him.
Excellent.
And
thank you, Gary.
yeah, thank you, Gary. And then he probably had to do some working and some talking too, because it wasn't real good right off the bat, but but a lot of the band saw what we were going for, and so we had a female singer when no one else really had a female singer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and in Fargo it hadn't been a thing yet. I mean, there wasn't too many bands that had female singers, and we were able to do a lot of pop stuff, like some Mary J. Blige and Kylie Minogue, stuff that was popular at the time. We had a couple of guys that rapped and everything, and so
interesting. Okay.
I mean, two keyboards, bass, guitar,
Really?
yep, and. So Chance McMasters, I don't know if you know him. He was in that
I
band
know of
too.
him, yes.
Yeah, and the other guys are out of town. Kind of Troy Ballinger he might still be in town or around the area, but
Okay.
I'm not sure where. There were Amber and Ryan Hendrickson were the singer and keyboard player, or two of the
Gotcha.
singers and both keyboard players too, I guess. But I know they loved Arizona, so maybe they went down there when the band ended or something. I don't know. But anyway, it was a great. We had lots. We were playing one-nighters and just doing the whole thing. And that back then, you would still play 6-7 nights a week. And so there was a January
nice.
where I was only home.
I am so
a couple
jealous
of
that.
days.
I don't know why.
That January too. It was. Well, we drove home in a blizzard from Baudette, and then
Oh, yuck.
got
Oh,
home.
my-
Yeah, got home at 5, 6 in the morning.
Oh,
Went into my apartment, hadn't been there in 2 weeks, and then it was just freezing cold. So I don't know. Maybe it might have been 40 degrees. I don't think it was, below freezing.
nothing
but
bursting.
No, nothing bursting yet. But there's just a radiator in there, and so I somehow fell asleep, and then got up the next day and took off again. Good times.
This is all that Baby Grand?
Yeah, this is still Baby
Wow.
Grand. Yep.
Okay. I haven't heard of that name, but that time I was in Texas and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
I think
during that years.
they had a good run. I mean, I would say 8 to 10 years. I think I was only
Oh,
in
really?
it for 2, yeah, or 1.5, 2.
Huh.
I was kind of a young little punk, and then just
Like we all were.
yeah, and then I wanted to do the music that I cared about. So that brings to the next band, actually.
Okay.
The passion project, Rumblefish.
Rumblefish. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and so that was a good time. That was a lot of rhythm and blues, a lot of 80s. Keith Johnson, Chris Fritz,
Oh, wow.
Chris Gould.
You had the power.
Yeah, it was
Man.
it was a
Keith
fun
Johnson's
band.
just a monster.
Yeah, just awesome. And then Stan Nyborg, I don't know if you know him or not, but he was in the band The News and some other Fargo bands.
Heard of them.
Rough Rider was one of them from the 70s. So that band was a lot of fun, and like I say, a passion project, and we, you know.
Were you playing guitar in these bands? Then,
Yeah,
I'm
this was
assuming?
rhythm guitar.
Rhythm.
So like Baby Grand, that was lead guitar. I was the only guitar player, and then with Rumblefish is where I became a singer. That's kind of So I sang I sang some lead songs in Baby Grand, but then I didn't have the balls to I'm the lead singer, do that kind of thing, and so I had to have somebody do it for me. And then, so Stan came along and he basically, asked me to join his band, and he was older than me. He was 49. I was 24, 25.
Oh, you're the young pup.
Right. Yep. I was the young pup. And then so I went to the tryout, and I was supposed to be backing him up as the singer. And then I sang through some of the songs, and then he told me that I'm going to be the singer. And so I said, okay.
There you go. Yep. Know your marketing. Yep.
Oh man, he just drilled me too. He would, I think he made me play through and the band 10 songs or a song 10 times one time because
nice.
Yeah, I don't know, probably a combination of working my voice and just to
tightening
get
up
the song.
The band.
Yeah, just tighten up the band. It's not a bad idea for any band to do that.
No, I've heard that a few times from friends of mine that do bands down south, where basically they'll go and they'll have band weekend where they'll relearn or learn up a whole bunch of new stuff for the next time, and they go into the studio or whatever their practice place is, and they start Friday night and they don't end till Sunday night, and they just rep everything over and over and over again just to get tight like that. So
awesome.
Highly agree with that idea.
I do too. I mean, that's kind of the method I go by, practicing stuff. Just keep on playing it and playing it, then play it faster, then play it slower, and then
layers.
Right, yeah, and then sleep on it.
That's
come back
really important. That really is.
Right, yeah, sleep. The importance of sleep and learning parts is it.
Yeah, because I learned that a while
understated.
ago, just reading a bunch of psychology books or something. I went through this big psychology thing at one time, and you talk about how you learn the best is literally right before you go to bed. You just, whatever you're reading or whatever you're doing or manipulating, you practicing piano or anything like that, and then you go to sleep, and your brain just keeps rolling that all night long because that's all it has left over. Kind of like old RAM or whatever else, And then the next morning, it's more there. So when you go back to it, you might not remember it right away, but it comes faster, and all of a sudden it just becomes a lot easier for you to do. And I found that out. Well, yeah, because I have to learn a bunch of new tunes for next week, and I've just been repping them all day today. Now I'm going to sleep on it. Tomorrow I'll be repping them all day again tomorrow, and I bet that they'll be a lot more clear tomorrow.
So. Oh yeah, definitely. So. Yep. I mean the brain does illustrious things when it comes to that.
Amazing. Amazing. My 2 cents is just something I've learned over time.
Right. I mean,
a little wisdom, maybe.
Well, yeah, that's what we got to do as musicians, just pick stuff up from each other. That's that's
what I love about the podcast, too. Learn so much from you people.
Right. I believe that. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. Thanks.
Thanks for being on. No, it's cool. Yeah, so let's see. Where were we? We're at your second band.
Yeah.
Rumblefish, and then.
Well, that was actually. So the first one was actually Smoke Break. That was that was in college, and there was 2 before Baby Grand, their college bands.
Okay.
And then it was kind of more of
Did you still get the credit for learning a half hour's worth of tunes or something, and then you had to play it, and that was considered a string ensemble or something?
That was the first one. That was commercial ensemble.
Ensemble.
Commercial ensemble. Yep. The first in the underground at MSU.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh gosh, memories.
Memories, but the weird thing is, I work there for a day job now, so
Oh really?
Yeah, and I can access the underground, so I go in there and it still looks like it's 1987 in there. It's just crazy. I mean, the tile, the
you just gave me some more stupid ideas.
I know. Sorry, anyone that doesn't go to MSU probably won't be entertained by this, so I'll just leave it at that.
That's fine.
The underground is there. It's used for storage now.
Storage.
Yeah. So these. So these bands, one of them played in the underground, and then we had some other gigs, that were set up by MSU, and then Sour Mash Band, named after the whiskey. Yeah,
I've heard that name before. So
yeah,
at least I've seen it on a poster.
Yeah, probably. Well, it's probably just because it was on the sour mash, or the Jack Daniels bottle. Maybe
It
that's
could be that too, but
Yeah, I mean, because that would have been around the time that you were in Texas or talking about. I think a long time ago.
Yeah.
But maybe, it is possible. Anyway, that one, like we played a lot in Enderlin, and then we started branching out. Actually, like we did some. Gary booked us some gigs in Grand Rapids. This is how long I've known Gary Bitzer. I mean, it's 20 some years. But so Gary booked us some gigs out in Grand Rapids, and we, getting on with him obviously at the time was a big deal. That was our first introduction to him, and we got introduced to him through Pete's Pipe. Did the band Pete's Pipe?
I've seen that name around too.
You did, okay,
I've never seen that.
So that was. Jason Vukovic, Casey Smith, like, and the two other guys, I can't remember their last names. I think it was Justin and Justin though.
Okay.
Yeah, two Justins, a drummer named Justin and then a bass player named Justin. One of them, the drummer Justin, is a doctor now. I haven't
making money.
Right. Yeah. Great idea.
What?
Anyway, where was I going with this?
You had the bands before you played in bands.
Okay, right, yeah. So those were the college bands, or the kind of the frat type bands. Good times though, just great times. Like so many. I mean, when you're young, I mean, we would have a pack. We'd have a packed house every single night, just of our friends. You know, like the bars would just be going like, "Oh my God, this is great," and we didn't even know it. Like, just didn't even know. That this was something that not every band has or something. I don't know what.
Doesn't this happen to everybody
just,
all the
being
time?
young and dumb. Yeah, but man, it was a good time. And then, after that, so after the Passion Project, which was Rumblefish, the blues 80s thing, then that's when 8th Hour started, was right after that.
Oh, so, what year would that have been? Not to age you.
2007, 2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been a good run.
Yeah.
Real good run.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
16 years?
We broke up during COVID for a little while, but then, got back together now.
Talk about
doing shows a different way, like just kind of, we started doing that before COVID, like going 5-piece. I guess we were 4 actually, because we were 3-piece and then we added somebody, so we went to 4-piece. Never mind. So this is the first time that we've been 5-piece, or at least since
5-piece. What'd you add on?
Brianna Helbling.
So, okay.
Yep,
there you
and
go.
then Ashley Jean too, who is will be playing fiddle, keyboard, singing.
Nice.
So they're kind of going back and forth, doing certain gigs. Bree will do certain gigs, and then Ashley will do certain gigs. So
they'll be trading off, sort of.
Right. So we always have a 5th member there, and
Gotcha.
something.
They'll add a lot of depth too. So
it does. Really, it's really nice. Playing with 5 people. The more people, the merrier. I guess when it comes to being a musician, if you can, as long as you
get them together at the same time.
That's key right there, getting together. So that's where, I mean, I just came from a practice where with Bree, and so we went through some songs, and they all went great. I mean, they'll go a lot better when the live energy is just there, and then
exactly.
You just got to do it. So.
Exactly. No, so that's really cool. So what got you into music in the first place? You're 17.
Yeah.
And you just went on like, I'm going to go to a pawn shop and get a guitar today, or
no?
Was there an uncle, your dad, something?
There was a guy up at my parents' cabin that lived next door that played a guitar, and then every time he brought it out, I thought it was awesome. I always wanted to play it. Ever since I was probably 11 years old, 12, something like that.
Understood.
The 80s rock bands, but I also, was into the drums, like it's so Ricky Rocket.
Gross.
Yeah, no, that's what I originally.
Do it.
In fact, that's what I originally was a drummer. Like,
really?
Yeah, but didn't have a set or anything. Just played the snare for school, and
we didn't even have bell sets back then. Now they have to drag that stuff around too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're toys.
I had a bell set. Yeah, they're I mean, or the xylophone, whatever it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what it's called. But the smaller, so no, that would be bells.
The
Yeah,
glockenspiel. Yes.
Small, yeah, yes, like a glockenspiel, yeah,
Yeah.
or the glockenspiel, and then yeah, but yeah, there was some vibes, or like or just that the the chimes and stuff like that,
Yep.
and yeah, like
All the mallet
we
stuff.
had those in junior high, and then I quit that in junior high, and then high school.
Oh, you're one of
was-
those guys.
Yep, high school was pretty much no music until guitar. So, yeah.
So someone at the cabin who had a guitar, and then how did you end up with one?
Well, I bought one. Yeah, I just.
Well, there's a story for that.
Yeah, it was a cheap one. That was up at the cabin too.
Okay.
Like, so maybe I was inspired at the cabin and then decided to buy my own. I had a job.
Where'd you find it?
It was just there was a music store up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what kind it was. Arbor or something. I don't know.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
I remember the first guitar we got was a Fender Stratocaster 2 from Marguerite's Music. They used to be literally a couple blocks from here. Not even the new location. The old location was pretty close too.
Right.
You would have known that, yeah. 'Cause you
Yes.
would have been around during that.
Oh yeah. Yep. The old location. Yep. I remember it.
Had 'em all right across the floor there. Just walked up. It was white.
Yep.
$250. I still remember all that. We had this little,
Oh.
yep, had this strap that was bungee, so you could really do the 80s stuff with it. That was fun. I
Yeah.
learned about 50 Metallica riffs on it, and that's about it.
I got my. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Hopefully I
no.
don't-
Duct Tape
Okay, got
Productions.
it, got
we
it.
got it.
All right. Yeah, and like 8th Hour went through a lot of different formations, a lot of different people
Okay.
in that band. It's kind of my rule of thumb that a band can only stay together for like 3 years tops. But but then that obviously that rule is broken. I mean the guys they're the 4 guys in Tripwire I think have been together forever.
Yeah, at
And
least
they
10 years,
play.
yeah.
I'm talking every weekend. Bands that play every weekend too. Like when
Yep.
you can have some time off and don't have to spend so much time together, then I think it can prolong the life of the band a lot more. So, especially
that was a George Carlin thing about marriage, about
Oh,
staying away from each other for as long as humanly possible, that type of thing.
right. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. I mean, I think it probably helps. I mean, I can't attest to it. I haven't been married for that long, or I'm not married right now. But yeah, definitely, I'm in a long-term relationship. So
such as I myself.
Yeah.
Yes. We won't get into the marriage thing though.
right.
That's a whole different subject. With that.
Right. That's a different podcast.
Exactly. But here, I'm going to ask you this question because I got to get to the weekly report here.
Yes.
But is that you're playing every weekend again? Is this correct?
It's not every week. It's pretty close. I mean,
Okay.
but not every weekend.
The
It's
schedule is filling up?
well, the schedule's pretty much full for the summer, I guess.
Gotcha.
But like and it's spread all over. It's spread through different bands and things like that, acoustic things, duo things, different bands. Just all the things.
So I'm going to let you explain this. Would you rather stay where you're at right now, where you have like a kind of a daytime job along with playing on the weekends, so it doesn't seem like there's much stress there, or would you rather just be out grinding it almost all the time, maybe even on tour? But I'm going to let you hold on and think
Okay,
about
yeah.
that for a moment.
I'll
I'm going to
think
get to the
about it.
weekly report here. So, Cito, we miss you, man. We have photos too. And here we go, heading on out to downtown Dempsey's open mic night with Gina Powers tomorrow night, Thursday the 25th, and Tailspin on Friday the 26th. At the Aquarium, we got Elder Ruby the Hatchet and Howling Giant on Saturday 27th. The Alibi Lounge open mic night tomorrow night. I think it's from like 8 to 11. I believe, don't quote me on that.
I thought it was 7, but okay,
it 7?
keep going. I
It could
thought
be.
maybe not.
See, this is where I learn stuff. So yeah, we're going to do that 7 to 11. We got Harley Davidson, West Fargo. Quick 56 will be out there tomorrow night. I think it's some bike rally that's starting off for the summer. So get on out and see some Quick 56. Great guys. Yeah, great people. We have Blarney Stone. We got Righteous Song on tomorrow. And then Project Constellation on Sunday the 28th. I think that's at 11 a.m. I can't remember what the whole idea was, but there you can see some music, 11 a.m. on a Sunday. That's really cool. Troll Lounge, Tuckered Out tomorrow night. And then we're at the original Minot, the Black Moods, and Citizen Soldier tomorrow night. Along with the Laughing Sun Brewing Company in Bismarck, Mandan area, our favorite brewing company in Bismarck, Mandan area. We have Megan and Will Love on Thursday, the Mooncats on Friday, and then Jeff Ruff Brothers on Saturday. At Zorba's Detroit Lakes, My Famous Friends on Friday night. The Lazy Fish in Jamestown, that Uptown band. Oh, and then Cormorant Pub on Saturday, that Uptown band again. Man, they're out of town? Okay, we got that. Uptown, we have Windbreak. We got Ryan Maurice tomorrow night. DJ and the Atomics on Friday, and Semi-Charmed Hero on Saturday the 27th at the Southtown Poorhouse. Yeah, October Road on Friday night. And then Shooting Star Casino. Everclear is going to be out there on Friday night, along with Jonah and the Whales at the Mustang Lounge at 26th and 27th. And the high school seniors of 2023. Congratulations. I just know too many of them this year. All the people out that I've had to teach in the past and all that other fun stuff. Congratulations if you ever see this.
Yes, congratulations.
There you go, seniors. And then we're downtown Acoustic Corner Wednesday tonight. Samantha and Chris at Murphy's Pub, just a few blocks from here. Probably getting started right as we speak. Rick Adams at the Roundup Saloon. And then tomorrow night we have Samantha and Chris again at the Camp Lone Tree at 701 on the roof. And then Brianna Hebling and Kobe Tangent at Twin Peaks. I believe that's a makeup from last week. They canceled and then they rescheduled for this week. I believe that's what I read. So, Brianna, if you're out there, please let me know if I'm right or not. And then we have Matt Downer at Spicy Pie in West Fargo. On Friday, we got Abby Stegelmeyer at, I think I said that right, or Stugelmeyer at Troll Lounge, and Zach Thomas at Tailgaters. Saturday, May 20th, not right? May 28th, Anthony Diaz at the Troll Lounge. And then we're uptown, or downtown again, Front Street. We have open mic night with Travis Neros next Monday, the 29th. And at the Cellar, open mic with Mark Wade Belcher happening right now. If you're looking to tighten up that 2 minutes of your stand-up comedy, that's the place to be tonight. Side Street Jazz Night next Monday, the 29th. M&J. I found Ditching Delmer out there, but I also saw that, not Save Me CJ. The one that Dorval's involved with.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like he's out there.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure. So, again, with all this
One
stuff...
of Aaron Dorval's bands.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Is that any of these times and or places can schedule or reschedule at any given time. And all that. So make sure that you do contact the bands and or venues before venturing out in order to find your favorite artists out there. And then we have the Jasper Hotel, Jeremy Holloway's in residence tomorrow night. And then 42nd Street Delta, we have Kathy Brecky in the 42nd Street Jazz Band, along with Front Fenders on Friday and Dan Brecky hitting the stage on Saturday. And that's all we have for you this week. So let's get back to Mr. Lucas and talk about what he'd rather be doing for work. Would he rather be stressing and grinding and being and all that, or just actually having that nice little anchor of an actual job?
Well, you know, it's more about something to do for me, like right now, actually. I mean,
Gotcha.
I like, you know, obviously I like getting sleep, but it's really not that big of a deal anymore to just get up after a couple hours and go into work. As long as it's for a day, if I had to do that, you know, every single night, then that would be tough. Then I might have to rethink, you know, what I'm doing. But I actually, you know, I like my job. I get free food there.
What?
Yeah, I know.
It's a musician's favorite thing. One of their favorite
just
phrases.
it's really, I get to do something different all the time. It's a good time. So I mean, as long as it works, I'll keep on doing that. But if it was something else that was more stressful, maybe wasn't weekends off or something like that, then I would definitely have to probably think about just doing the music thing, and that's it.
Gotcha,
so yeah, but yeah,
you got to run with your passion. That's what you're saying,
right? Yeah, I mean, because that one doesn't really, that one's never going to go away. I mean, it's just kind of like it gets worse with age. I mean, I don't want to say worse, but I want to play more the older I get. It's not kind of a thing where it's going anywhere. It's just that's real cool.
Yeah, it sounds like me too. These past few years, just being able to play and not really worry about that day job, it's been just great.
Oh, okay, right, nice.
So, yeah, glad I came across the train tracks there.
Well, the thing that it does too,
the original stuff I do miss, but you know, You can still do it. I know we can still do it.
You can. I mean, but you know, like it. I think that you get like a focus that you from doing it for a living that you can't get unless you do it for a living. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't. You get to experience what that's like, and there's certain truths that you know from being a professional musician that you can't know except for if you are a professional musician, and that's true of any profession, I guess. You know, but being a musician definitely I wouldn't trade it for anything, I guess.
No.
I don't know. Being able to
fun.
just
It's like I get to go out and have fun and make money.
Right.
When does that happen?
Right.
Rarely,
I mean,
I think, but you know.
Yeah, and you know, and people need it. I need it. You know that because
Therapy.
you need it yourself. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I have to have my songs on in the car. I have to, you know, I don't know. There is definitely a need, and other people share that need too. And so, you can't, it's never going to go anywhere. And, you know, like, I mean, I think that electronically, electronic music will have a hold for a little while, but you know, it's a human thing. It's a human expression. And, so I think that like electronic, music will, you know, it'll always have a place and everything, but it'll never be a replacement for just real drums, real guitars. I think that you know, that
So you don't believe the AI is going to take over for us pretty
I don't
soon?
think it can. I don't think. Yeah, I think that's one thing where it's going to fail at. I think that it's going to fail at music and art. And I'm not saying that it won't be able to create music, but I don't think that it'll be able to move people in the same way. You know, that say the greats like Eddie Van Halen, or you know, like Springsteen, Sinatra, people like that, you know, did, and you know, or just the way that it moves you when you're out at a concert watching real people do it, and real people make mistakes, and you know, like just kind of.
You're making me feel better about humanity. I'll just say that, Lucas.
Oh, good. I mean, yeah. Hopefully, it's not just a fantasy in my head. But
the whole AI thing. That's a whole nother podcast again.
I mean, it is possible. I mean, but for me personally, I just don't think that will ever do it for me. It might do it for somebody else, but
no. And retro is coming back. So
yeah, is it good? Always.
This whole house is retro. That's all.
I like the retro.
Yeah.
The closed-in feel. Yes, there's something comforting about that. Just you know, the walls around you and not just open space.
Exactly.
So yeah.
I know my junk.
Yeah.
My junk and my junk. That's okay. But you ready for a little juvenile destruction?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So here's again. I apologize for not having any fresh ones yet, but I'm getting to it. My daughter moved out, so it's kind of hard to find someone to help you out when you actually have time. So that's my excuse for this week's off theater. Ooh, that one came apart. I just grabbed one. I have no idea what I picked. I just grabbed stuff. Nice.
This is what you were talking about.
Yep. So random objects off the roof. I'll explain to you after we're done here why this is a thing.
Okay.
Other than it's just fun to watch. My editing skills have gotten way better than this too. This is kind of old. I wear the same hat.
What was that?
Show you at the end. Old scale.
Oh, okay.
Old glass.
Just
top.
Shattered like that, huh?
Yep. All the glass on top just exploded.
Awesome. Well, you must have cleaned it up well.
A lot of people say, I'm not driving my car up your driveway. That's fair enough. That's all I can say. Well, Lucas, what happened is I grew up in this house, and I bought it for my dad a million years ago. He lives out some farmstead, and I'm looking for a farmstead. So if anyone out there knows of one that's for sale, just in North Dakota, that's where I'm trying to get to, let me know. And so, but we'd get a little ragers be going on here and everything else, and inevitably someone would get on the roof. We'd be throwing random electronics off just to watch explode on the driveway. It's the 90s. That's what you did. Made your own fun. And, yeah, so I'm just keeping the tradition alive by, just throwing stuff off the roof and filming it in 50 different ways. And, yeah, just having fun with it. So if you have anything out there that you want to see exploded on my driveway, throw it in my yard, whatever else, we'll find it. We'll break it for you on film and everything else. We'll try to make it internet famous for at least a little 30-second video or something. But no. So that's the Off the Roof segment. So we gotta wrap this whole thing up there, Lucas. Okay. What do you got coming up here? What do you got push?
Coming up here, playing at Traditions next Thursday.
Traditions?
Yeah, Traditions. That is out in West Fargo on Cheyenne Street. So that'll be 6 to 9.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a happening place. I mean, there's always cars out there. I guess I've never been in there because, the not drinking thing. But yeah, like I'm going to be there for sure next Thursday from 6 to 9. And then I'll be playing in Findlay that weekend. Or wait, no. M&J Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Not this weekend, but next weekend. This is all happening.
I taught out in Findlay for 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yep, lived right in Findlay for 2 years.
Findlay is a beautiful town.
It is.
Like for the middle of, just...
It's an oasis.
Right, yeah.
I mean, left, I've still...
That whole area. Like Mayville, and then I think, what are some of the other ones that are around there?
Hope Page,
yeah. Then there's, you go a little further north towards Devil's Lake, and then that's all really nice up in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, just a great area. So then, that's the M&J, and then that will be with Brianna Helbling, an 8th hour.
There we go.
That'll be Friday, Saturday, June 2nd and 3rd, I think. And then after that, me and our Genziano are playing. Then it's opening for Hairball with.
You're opening
Wayne,
for Hairball?
Yeah, with Adios Pantalones. That's
nice.
That's the band I didn't bring up here. Adios, see you later, pants. Adios Pantalones. Yeah, so
I didn't even know you were in that one.
Yeah, playing bass in that one.
Nice.
Yep, and that's with Wayne MacArthur, Mike Rader, Josh Koth. And so
gotcha.
that's a good time. Yep, Andy Peterson running sound. So
cool. We opened up for Hairball over a year ago now. It's an experience. Those guys are awesome. They're really cool.
Yeah, the stage is a little bit smaller, like where we open up this time. It's a private party type of deal.
Oh,
and we've done it for I think this will be the 5th year in a row.
5th year.
Yeah.
Wow.
It started during COVID. It started the year before COVID, I think, and then it's continued through. So however many years that is.
That's still awesome.
Right, yeah, good times. And then that weekend, too, Portland, North Dakota with 8th hour. And then, it's kind of up in the air. After that, I'm not sure I can remember all the places.
It's all over. So, where can they find you at then?
Find me?
Yeah.
Like,
8th hour and Adios Pantalones and all that.
Oh, yeah. So, 8th hour, I believe, has a website. Right now, I can't think of what it changed. It used to be 8thhourband.com, I think. Then it changed to 8th Hour Live, and then, so I'm not sure what it is now. But definitely if you go on Google and you Google 8th Hour Fargo, you'll find a website for that one.
There you go.
As far as I'm concerned, I am on Facebook, and so you can spell out my name, Lucas, Lucas. My last name is Hranicka, Hranicka. And then you can find me on there. Yeah,
I did.
You have a lot of consonants, a lot of vowels. Yeah, I always post where I'm playing on there, so that's kind of the place to find out what I have going on, I guess. So
excellent. You can find us from the Ticky Tacks all the way up to the Instagrams and all the other fun stuff at Uptown Tonight Podcast or Uptown Band Fargo. And you can also find us at uptownbandfargo.com. That'll show you everything that's happening with the band and or the podcast, so you can find out everything that's happening right there. But thank you for being on, Lucas.
Thank you for having me.
This has been awesome. But remember, Lucas, if your drummer's got more charisma than your front man, your band may be in trouble. But that's why my band's doing just fine. So until next time.